I'd like to call the regular meeting of January 10th, 2024 to order at 6 o'clock. And I'd like to start with wishing everybody a Happy New Year. I hope that everybody had a healthy and more prosperous New Year, and we're starting 2024, a new year. And looking forward to working together with you on council and our community to make Winnipeg Beach a better place. I'd like to start with land acknowledgement. I'd like to acknowledge that town of Winnipeg Beach is located on First Nations Treaty 1 territory, the traditional territory and ancestral land of the Anishinaabe, the Cree, the Oji-Cree, the Dakota, and the Dene people, and the homeland of the Métis Nation. We respect the treaties made on these territories. We dedicate ourselves to move forward with Indigenous communities in a spirit of reconciliation and collaboration to make Manitoba an inclusive and accessible place for everyone who lives here.
Be it hereby resolved, the agenda for the January 10th, 2024 regular meeting of council be approved as per the following additions. Addition, tax impact meeting date. Addition, meeting with the Minister of Justice. Addition, utility interest refund request. Addition, West Shore Community Foundation info session.
Can I get a mover, please? Councillor Kozlowski. Seconder, please. Thank you, Councillor Jarvis. All in favor? Carried.
Be it hereby resolved, the minutes of the December 20th, 2023 regular meeting be approved as circulated.
Can I get a mover, please? Councillor Gendron. Seconder, please. Councillor Ho. All in favor, please? Carried.
Be it hereby resolved that council approves the accounts payable listing being check number 22376 to number 22416, inclusive of checks, electronic payments, and payroll issued in the amount of $202,856.39.
Can I get a mover, please? Councillor Gendron. Seconder, please. Councillor Ho. Questions? Councillor Kozlowski.
Yeah, there were a few checks I inquired today and got some answers.
Okay.
One of them being 22415 Urban Systems for $35,000. Can you explain a little bit of this? And are we going again with this company next year? Is it finished with? And that's going to be added to the budget for us next year? It's going to go on.
So this particular initiative was a project that started by resolution 2020-112. So it was a previous commitment of previous councils. That resolution requested the FCM grant application be made, which is what Urban Systems is a part of our asset management plan. So the town did apply for funding through FCM to conduct an asset management plan. The application was made for $50,000. The matrix of the grant is FCM is responsible for 80% of the funding, and the town is responsible for 20% of the funding. So this project should have been completed December of 2022. However, the kickoff meeting did not occur until December 9th of 2022. So an extension was filed of December of 2023. And so this invoice is the final invoices for this project. So this is not an ongoing cost. And we will be receiving a refund or a shared revenue of $40,000 from FCM once the final reports have been submitted. And we do have until January 31st to submit the final reports off to FCM, and do expect the refund within 8 weeks from receiving.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Other questions, Councillor Kozlowski?
Yeah, another one. 22411. Can you read Miller Accountants?
Okay.
Is that invoice just for the 1 year, or does it incorporate a couple years with that, or?
So that particular invoice is just for the preliminary 2022 audit. So there is still some additional audit work to be done, and we do suspect another invoice through that to have the audit complete. So a lot of those charges were in reference to the bank reconciliation process that they conducted, as well as some of the other work that has already been done. So we are still working on the 22. We're near completion, but that's what that invoice is for.
Okay, thank you. All right, good.
That's it? You sure?
I'm sure.
Anybody else? Questions, comments, points of discussion about payroll or accounts payable? No? Okay. All in favor? Carrie?
So item 7.1, bylaws, bylaw 1-2023 indemnity review for council discussion.
Do we need a resolution?
No, it's just for council discussion. There isn't a new bylaw for reading. It's,
So as people can see, if you've had an opportunity to review the bylaw, that the bylaw shall be reviewed on an annual basis on the first meeting of January every year. That's that's a part of the indemnities bylaw, is that every January we have to review the indemnities bylaw. Easy for me to say. So given that this is the first meeting in January, we need to review it. So does council have any discussion, points of concern or questions about the indemnities bylaw? No?
There is the issue that was raised by the CEO, which is, are we using national CPI or are we using Manitoba? And I guess there needed to be clarification on that.
well, there needs to be two clarifications. One is the CPI, regardless of which, going to be implemented. If so, then a new bylaw does need to be written. We cannot have an indemnity bylaw that states based on it. You do need to list what those amounts are. So that's why it's brought forward if we're moving forward. And if we are moving forward with the CPI increase, then yes, I do need some level of clarification, whether it's in reference to the Canada CPI or the Manitoba CPI rate, because they are different.
And do we need a bylaw change if we wish to leave our indemnities as is?
No, because if the indemnities are left as is, then there's no change to the bylaw, so no new bylaw is required.
Just a review.
So if people will remember, last January when we reviewed this bylaw, it was suggested at that time that, by this council actually, that we do a CPI every year to keep it current, so that we're not looking at, or that future councils aren't looking at leaving it the same for a number of years and then looking at a big boost. That was our discussion last January. I don't know what council thinks about it now, whether that's something that you still want to do or not. I would certainly be open to hearing. I mean, there's arguments on both sides, right? What do people think?
I'm good where it's at.
What was that?
I'm good where it's at.
Yeah, CPI.
No, sorry, CPI or leave it, no change at all?
No
We're
change.
not getting an increase. So what did you mean by leaving it?
Yeah, just how it's laid out right now.
Okay. So, well, the thing is that clause 10 says with the recommended, put the glasses on,
Yeah.
with the recommended adjustments be in accordance with CPI. So we're recommending that there be no adjustment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Okay.
So no further action?
No further action. We don't need that.
Okey-dokey. Unfinished business, item 8.1, community water safety grant decision. So this is for council information purposes only.
Yeah, so Carissa applied for a community water safety grant, I think in the tune of $2,500. And that's to support our swimming lessons for flutter boards and flotation devices and those kinds of things. And she was, we've been successful in receiving that grant. So good for her for applying and good for us for getting it. Any questions or comments about it?
No.
No, we're good?
Item 8.2, Interlake Tourism Guide ad. So at the last meeting, Madam Mayor,
Thank you.
this did come up and council did agree to a full page ad. However, council did want to see what the existing ad was like.
Okay.
I have, as we have hired a tourism development and community engagement manager, I have had that conversation and forwarded this ad off for his review as well, and we have not touched base as if there's going to be any changes. Is there any changes that council would like to see aside from any recommendations from tourism, if any?
What do you think of the ad?
I think it looks sharp.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Good. Okay.
Unfinished business, item 8.3, request for the rec center use Lions Club.
So there's been a request from the Lions Club that meets sometimes at St. Bart's Church. Sometimes they're not able to meet at St. Bart's Church, and they would like to use the rec center for their meetings. How often are the meetings and what time of the day?
Meetings will be at, they start in the mornings. We alternate each month from a night to a daytime meeting, morning meeting. Meetings are at 10:30. We're not always guaranteed those time slots. Sometimes there are emergencies or where they have the children's daycares in there.
Mhm.
So we are rerouted to wherever, and hopefully there's not to the rec center.
So,
And we're asking for a pro bono on that.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But are you hoping to move all the meetings there? Or just as a backup
No,
in
just
case
when, just
St.
a
Bart's
backup,
doesn't work?
just emergency type meetings when we're not, when the children take over the daycare at the church.
Yeah, for sure. The only complication I would see is if we already have something else booked in there, like if it's the quilters or the sewers or those kinds of things, right?
For sure.
But we do have rooms downstairs as well.
Yeah, we usually have anywhere from a dozen to maybe 17 people in attendance.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just some more information for you, our club has donated to Winnipeg Beach area from 2015 to 2023, $31,040.
Oh, yeah, the Lions Club does some.
Now that goes to the curling club, grew 1,500. We gave the breakfast program for the school, 5,600. Playground equipment, a couple hundred. Ski club, 500, and I can go on and on.
Oh, yeah. The Lions
They
Club
do
does
they do a great job.
really good work for our town. We're lucky to have them.
And also we take care of Gimli and Denard as well.
Good. Okay. So, discussion?
No, I think it's great what you guys are doing. How far in advance would you know that you needed a different location?
That day,
Oh,
as soon
that
as we
day.
go to that church,
Mhm.
we don't get notified otherwise. So we go into the church and we're told to reroute to wherever.
Okay. Other discussion, Councillor Gendron?
Yeah, would that give the CAO enough time to actually do it? Or not the CAO, sorry, Carissa, the time to do an agreement up?
We're all looking at you. Sharon.
Yes, thanks for looking at me. I'm not sure how detailed the use of the rec facility agreement is.
Yeah.
So I can't answer that without actually seeing the agreements that she has in place.
I wouldn't think it would be too complicated.
And we do set up our own tables and chairs and put them back.
Other concerns?
No.
Okay, so do we need a resolution if we,
We will need a resolution if you are waiving the rental fees.
What do people think about waiving the rental fees?
Yep.
Councillor Gendron?
No comment. I'm good, thank you. I expressed it at the last meeting.
Okay, well, I wasn't there at the last meeting.
Well, I just, we had a significant tax increase. This is an organization that pays for renting space for their meetings, and then they're turning around and asking us for free space. And my comment at the last meeting was, we had a 12.5% tax increase, and I understand they do lots of great things for the community, and then that has nothing to do with my comments or my position on this, and that is that we are, they're willing to pay for meeting space elsewhere, but they're asking the town for a free space.
Any further discussion?
Yeah, we make a donation to the church of, I think it's $250 for the year. We've also donated to the church for their steps, etc.
Okay.
We do take care of Canada Day here.
Mhm.
We supply all the prizes for $0. The town is off scot-free for that.
Yeah.
They don't have members to work it, or I could suggest that maybe all council go work Canada Day when it's 80, 85 degrees.
Mhm.
You know,
Sorry, that's clarification from information that was mentioned at the last meeting. At the last meeting, Councillor Kozlowski thought they were paying $25 a meeting, which is why I raised the point that I raised.
Okay.
So if it is something that's done on a donation basis, like they donate to the town, then I retract what I had said regarding my concern about us not charging them.
Okay, thank you. Do we have a resolution?
I have a resolution and can be changed under this short notice. Be it resolved that council permit the Lions Club use of the rec center to hold their monthly meetings when the regular location is not available, and further be resolved that council authorize the rental fees are waived as these meetings are being held in an emergent situation. Is that sufficient for council?
That's sufficient for me. Work for you?
sounds good.
Can I get a mover, please? Councillor Jarvis. Can I get a seconder, please? Councillor Gendron. All in favor? Carried. Do I have to write all that out here?
No, I have added that. I will
Okay.
reprint and.
Maybe I'll come back in and sign it.
Correct.
Okay.
Whereas section 365, sec 2 of the Municipal Act provides that council may in any year designate the immediately preceding year or any earlier year as the year for which properties the taxes in respect of are in arrears for the year must be offered for sale by auction to recover the tax arrears and costs. Therefore, be it resolved that the designated year for which properties in arrears be offered for tax sale by auction be 2023, meaning all properties with outstanding taxes from the year 2022 or prior, and be it further resolved that in accordance with section 3631 of the Municipal Act, costs shall be the actual costs incurred by the municipality for each parcel listed for the tax sale, plus an administration fee of $50 per roll as set forth in Manitoba Regulation 50-97.
Well, that was easy for you to say. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Jarvis. Seconder, please. Councillor Kozlowski, thank you. Discussion? All in favor? Carried.
Item 9.2, request to waive annual invoice. Be it hereby resolved that council do not authorize a refund for animal control invoice in the amount of $265.
Can I get a mover, please? Councillor Gendron. Seconder, please. Councillor Jarvis. I trust everybody's had an opportunity to review all of the attached information. Can I have some discussion, please?
I'll start.
Thank you,
I
Councilor
don't,
Jarvis.
I vote that the invoice gets paid.
By who?
Well, if she's gonna adopt this, and I vote not to waive it,
Okay.
yeah.
So the invoice has been paid, to be clear, it has been paid.
Okay, oh yeah, I knew that, sorry,
So,
just said it wrong. I vote not against waiving it.
Councilor Gendron.
Given that there have not been charges covered by anyone else in an adoption situation through the town, I would like to see that we waive this. Nobody else has been paying. Steps have been taken by the CAO to ensure that consistency happens moving forward. And so I just,
Councilor Jarvis.
Simple question, why hasn't we ever charged anybody?
Did you want to handle that?
sure, so in discussions with our ACO, there was some communication breakdown in reference to the bylaw and the perception of the bylaw. After the 7 days, the ACO believed that the animal then became the pound keeper's responsibility. And so as the pound keeper's responsibility, he took action accordingly to as a pound keeper, not as the ACO of the bylaw of the town of Winnipeg Beach. And so as per discussions, a letter of expectation has been issued so that it is very clear of the process going forward. And so that is why he has not been invoicing, charging any invoices to anyone who adopts or submitting claims for the supplies needed to run the pound. Like, so he does have deworming, he has a lot of other expenses that the pound keeper is incurring, and so recognizing that it is not two separate entities, that the ACO / pound keeper, it's the way that the bylaw is written, he is well aware that it is now all encompassing under the bylaw.
Now, we had asked this question previously about, call it record keeping, you know, like getting proper invoices and some sort of a summary of what was going on. And then when we had discussed the animal control bylaw, the stray cats and dogs and exotic animal bylaw, I never saw any of that in there where the pound keeper kept everything. So,
Correct, and so
how did we get to that? And these are just questions so I know, because I agree that if we've never done it before, then this would be an unfair precedent.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that going forward, we all know.
correct, and so to make sure that the accurate steps are being taken and the information sharing is seamless, we have now created a separate shared drive that is only accessible by bylaw officer ACO and the administrative team. And so during the meeting, upon presenting the letter of expectation, which it's clear of the process and the record keeping expectations that it should be held within that shared drive and not just on the ACO's laptop. And what the steps are needed, a copy of the forms have been provided in that shared drive, all the current documents that are needed for ACO that we require to be filled out. There is some concern upon reviewing the bylaw, although council, there are several other pressing items we do have that I do recommend taking a look at. That bylaw. It was written in 18 and there are some inconsistencies that are there. And one of the biggest is we require licensing for dogs, no requirement for licensing for cats, which means we have no database as to who owns animals, what they look like, anything through there. So going forward in 2024 and future years, that expectation now of what the process is clear, and there should not be, and the record keeping that is required will be happening.
And so I guess my thought is, as you were saying, Councillor Jarvis, if we've never charged before. Doing it for this case doesn't make any sense. However.
No, I agree. But see, I should say, not that I was unaware, we've had some of these discussions
Yes,
before.
we have.
As a council, and and so now I 100% agree.
Yeah.
Moving forward, 2024, this
2024
stops.
is
This,
a new year.
yeah,
and
this
lots of
gets,
things
we
will
get
change.
control of this animal, no pun
Absolutely.
intended.
Absolutely.
But there was one.
But
It
there
was
was,
good though. It was good.
yeah, it was good, it was quick, eh?
Yeah, it was good.
No pun, yeah.
Okay, so, further discussion, Councillor Hu, Councillor Kozlowski?
Yeah, there was nothing previous to this.
There's been no checkpoint.
There's been no checkpoint.
You know, there's nothing written like 2024, so it'll be a different situation.
2024 will be very
Yeah.
different when it comes to
Yeah, for
ACO
sure.
and BLO, yes.
Yes.
So I will reread the resolution. Be it hereby resolved that council authorize a refund
Yep.
for animal control invoice in the amount of $265.
Can I get, all in favor, please? Carried?
(9.3) Meet and greet. Be it hereby resolved that council approve blank to attend the meet and greet with Evergreen trustees being held at Lakeview Hotel in Gimli on January 22nd, 2024 from 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. with no registration fee, out-of-pocket expenses and travel per diem are applicable.
Can I get a mover, please? Councillor Jarvis. Seconder, please. Councillor Gendron. I'm certainly interested in going. Anybody else interested in going, seeing how our school's been doing?
I've already signed up. We all got an email 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I wasn't here.
Yeah, I went to the last one, well, it wasn't a breakfast, but the last year's school board
Okay.
trustee meeting, and again, I'm going to this one.
Okay, well, I'll be going as well. Anybody else wanna go?
If I'm in town, I'll go as well.
Councillor Kozlowski?
I won't be in town.
You won't be in town.
I will go if I can get here.
You get here.
Yeah.
So instead of listing individual, is council okay with be it hereby resolved that council is approved to attend and then whoever
Yes.
can make it can make it?
Yeah.
Good.
All in favor? Carried?
Item 9.4, recognition and thank you of service.
Thank you for putting this on the agenda. On the 29th of December, Sherry McVicker announced that after 25 years with the Matlock Fire Department, she is stepping back from her work as a medical first response, a service that she provided not just to Matlock, but also to Winnipeg Beach. Sherry's compassion, empathy, and professionalism served those in need in Winnipeg Beach very well over the years. I'd also like to acknowledge Sherry's husband, Mike, and their children, Josh and Katie, for their sacrifices that they made over the years that came with Sherry being on call 24 hours a day for so many years, providing critical support to the people of Winnipeg Beach. Sherry, may you rest easier now knowing that you will not be getting a call in the middle of the night, and may this next phase of your life bring you as much happiness as the last 25 did.
Wonderful.
Very nice.
Nice contribution to our community.
Mm-hmm.
I hope she has a enjoyable retirement.
Thank you.
Item 9.5, search and rescue new initiative fund.
Can I get a mover?
I
No,
did not-
you have to say something first.
Be it hereby resolved that council support the Search and Rescue New Initiative Fund application for the purpose of creating a search and rescue unit to service Winnipeg Beach and surrounding area, and further be it resolved that council commit to the 5% funding requirement as outlined in the grant, and be it further resolved that the CAO contact Mr. James Bazan, Member of Parliament, to inform him of the grant submission.
Can I get a mover, please? Councillor Jarvis. And a seconder, please. Councillor Gould. Discussion. If people had an opportunity to read the background information, this is a request from our fire chief. And given that we'd only have to pay for 5% of the funding, and our fire chief is letting us know that 5%, which I think is just over $7,000.
7,500.
7,500. He can cover in his operational funding. I think it would be a great idea. We don't have a search and rescue team out here, and I think that he might be able to do, organize a training. What?
I think it's my noise.
No, I'm thinking, considering we've already authorized the purchase of the boat and the trail.
That's
No,
two
this is
separate.
two separate.
No, I
things.
understand it is two separate things, but
Two separate
Yeah.
things. Councillor Jarvis,
This is just an application for the grant though?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so they,
just
yeah,
to apply for the grant.
so if the grant doesn't come through, then we're gonna revisit.
That's right.
We won't proceed. This is
Yes.
just in
Yeah,
order.
just in the event, obviously, if we get the grant, boom, Bob's your uncle, it'll be 5%.
So one of the requirements of the grant submission is that you do have to have a council resolution of support in the
No, I
initiative.
read it.
Yeah, Councillor
Yeah,
Kozlowski.
just a question, search and rescue, is that usually not done by the RCMP or Harbor Master? Because in Winnipeg it is. And what are the parameters, like, where are they going in the lake for this? And do they not need divers?
So it's not search and rescue, like water search and rescue, it's land search and rescue, so missing persons, people being lost. So it's a completely separate initiative from water rescue.
Being lost on what, on the water?
No, just like whether it's through trails, there could be missing persons,
Okay, say a snowstorm or something.
so anything along those lines. So it's a completely separate entity of the water rescue. It's land search and rescue. So,
Okay, I was thinking it was water.
yeah, so it is two,
Me too.
it is two separate initiatives, but so one of the benefits though is there are some similarities of equipment that's used in both programs, that if we're successful with this grant application, equipment that's purchased through the land search and rescue, pieces of equipment could also be double used in the water search and rescue.
So they could be purchasing snowmobiles or their ATVs.
So
No, there's more to it than that. The beach, sorry,
There is
the
a
beach safety officers go through this every year. When they get new recruits and they train them and they pretend that there's a child lost somewhere in Winnipeg
Yeah.
Beach, and then they have to coordinate the whole thing to find the lost child, and it's actually pretty impressive when they do it, so.
Yeah.
Like a mock,
Yeah, it's a mock search and rescue. Like say a child wanders away on the beach and nobody knows, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now they have to look for it somewhere.
right.
Yeah, they go through, and the new safety officer, they go through this every year. So
Okay.
it's good that our fire department go through it too.
And it's good that our fire department's taking the initiative and interest in doing this. So-
Well, the thing that we have now is we have people with dementia now that are wandering away from home.
Oh, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
Have they got anything like sirens or anything that they can use, say if kid's lost, child's lost in there near the water or in the water? Have they got anything like that they use?
I do not know that. I will make note of that.
Maybe that's the province, provincial acceptance, right?
Okay, any further discussion on application for this grant? No, all in favor? Carried?
So additions, tax impact meeting. Be it hereby resolved that council approves the tax impact meeting date of May 22nd, 2024 at 6 p.m.
Can I get a mover, please? Councillor Jarvis. Seconder, please. Councillor Hu. Discussion? All in favor? Carried?
sorry.
Get out here.
So,
Councillor Gendron, did you have
sorry,
a
is this
comment?
part of our regular council meeting?
Yes. it will be.
Okay, sorry, that was what was throwing me was, it's a council meeting date. Okay,
Right,
Yeah,
so,
okay.
and as in past practice, assessment does come with a report talking about the
perfect. Okay,
changes, yeah.
yeah, thank you, sorry. I was going to put it in my calendar and realized the day was already busy.
Addition 10.2, meeting with Minister of Justice. Be it hereby resolved that council is approved to attend the January 25th, 2024 meeting with the Honorable Matt Weed, Minister of Justice and Attorney General at 1 p.m. at the Legislative Building.
Can I get a mover, please? Councillor Jarvis. Can I get a seconder, please? Anybody?
Sorry,
Councillor Kozlowski.
we're looking at our calendars. Sorry.
Okay, so we had requested a meeting with Honorable Matt Weeb, Minister of Justice, back at the AMM conference, and if people will remember, that meeting was unable to happen. So they have offered us a meeting for January 25th at 1 o'clock at the Ledge. Discussion?
I'll be there if I'm in town. I go to Mexico. You coming with me?
And I'll be 4 hours into my 5-hour flight to Mexico when that meeting happens, so
You
I
guys
won't be
going
there either.
We
Oh, you
might,
come.
we might.
Just asking for a friend.
Outside.
We'll be playing, buddy.
Hopefully it's a big plane. A Learjet ought to be fun. I don't think I'll be attending, and I might not have anything else to say.
Might not.
So is council still wanting to meet with Minister of Justice, whether it in person or via Teams? It can be virtual as well. Is this
Virtual's
still,
probably better.
is this still an option of council?
I think it's important in the long run to meet with the Justice Minister. I think it'll be important to Winnipeg Beach to meet with the Justice Minister. I'm available at that date and time. If people want to drive in to meet, I'm open to doing that. If you want to do it through Teams, I'm open to doing that as well. I always prefer in person better. I think more happens in an in-person meeting, but I'm prepared to go with what council thinks. Councillor Ho, what do you think?
Online for me.
Okay.
Possibly.
So, can we commit to the meeting
Sure.
Sure.
at 1 o'clock on January 25th? And then we can sort out how that meeting will happen.
Sure.
Okay, all in favor? Carried. I just think it's important to, be establishing relationships. We never know when we might need to be meeting with them on a particular issue that we might need some support on.
Addition utility interest refund request. Be it hereby resolved that council do not authorize a utility interest refund for account number 5002300 in the amount of blank.
Can I get a mover, please? Councillor Jarvis. Seconder, please. Councillor Gendron. I trust that everyone has had an opportunity to review the file on this. Discussion without breaching any confidentiality. Councillor Jarvis.
I'm in favor of refund. That exact same thing happened to me. I took possession in July. And I got a interest, and I paid it. They wouldn't waive it. And I had no idea, if the property taxes were due or anything when I first bought my property. The exact same thing happened.
The only objection I would have to that is that this person was informed on November the 2nd of the bill and that it was due, and they chose not to pay it until now, and they want a refund on the interest from November the 2nd until now. And
I wouldn't do that.
I don't agree with that. Now, they didn't get, they were charged interest, I believe, from July, from September 30th.
I was like
November.
$80 or something.
So the part of the time when he wasn't aware of the bill, I don't think that he should be paying interest on that. But from November the 2nd onwards, when he chose
I
not to.
agree with that.
Other discussion?
I do have a question. How are we made aware of change in ownership on the property when a property sells?
So we are made aware of that via land titles, and there can be several months in delay in that process.
6 months.
So it wasn't anything that was the homeowner's responsibility, it was.
There is a known, I would like to think as a responsible property owner that you would, if you purchase property, you would want to have your file updated. So having a clear process right now, we are still working through. I think that when we have a bulk of our property owners do not have utility bills, I think that
Yeah.
That's of some concern where it's just not second nature to update the utility
Yeah.
process. And the timing of this was during tax season when there was a lot of chaos
Yeah.
happening in the
Yeah.
admin office. So there was the delay, but it was caught in November, and the bill was emailed to the individual November 2nd. But that was not in time for the November 1st penalty to be applied. Yeah.
So I
So
think
in November.
So when you get a bill, how long do you have to pay it?
Generally with the utility bill, if it's
30
issued on the
days.
quarter, you've got usually less than 30 days. It's more than 21. It's usually the end of the month that the bill is issued out. So the bill in this case was from July to October 31st. July, August, until September 30th. So the bills, we can't generate the bills and get them mailed out September 30th. So it's processed that first week of, and then they're mailed out, and the due date then is October 31st.
Okay, so my thought is if this invoice was generated to the new owner on the 2nd of November, he should have had until the end of November to pay it, and I don't think we should be charging interest until December. If that's our usual period of time for a person to pay their utility bill interest-free.
that's what we're saying. Is
No, I believe the discussion was November. I'm saying if he would have been allowed to the end of November, we shouldn't charging him interest until December.
any interest accrued after the beginning of November, he wouldn't have been starting to accrue interest until the end of November.
December 1st, yeah. I got my utility bill today, and I have till January the 30th to pay that. So I don't pay a different price until February the 1st.
That's right.
That's when I pay a different price.
So he's asking for interest payments to be
Right.
negated until now.
Right.
And we're saying, no, we're gonna hold him responsible for any interest that would be due on his November, as of November the 2nd.
No, and what I'm saying
But
is
no
that
interest-
November
but-
2nd bill,
But no interest would be due until November the 30th. He wouldn't be charged interest until November the 30th,
no, he would not be charged interest until December 1st.
December 1st. Right.
So,
So he should be responsible for that.
He should be responsible for December.
This is just a semantic thing, Jamie. We're saying the same thing.
Okay, I'm sorry, I thought Councillor Jarvis said the discussion was November, the day the bill went to him.
So to be clear, a second or separate bill has not been generated. Our systems do not allow us to reproduce a billing. So the original billing
Was forwarded to him.
was forwarded to the individual. So it's not as if there was a new bill that was dated November 2nd that was issued. Our systems don't have the capability of doing that.
Okay.
So the original bill from
July 1st to
July
September
to
30th.
September 30th was emailed to the individual on November 2nd.
On November 2nd, he knew that he owed that amount for the previous quarter. We shouldn't be charging him penalty for the previous quarter at that point, but at the point that he became aware of the fact that he owed that and chose not to pay it, he should be charged interest.
So the interest relief in request is November 1st, interest of $15.46, December 1st, penalty applied of $15.66, and December 31st, which should be reading, there was a clerical miscommunication, January 1st, of $15.85 for the total of $46.35. So that's the request that the individual has made. Those are the 3 months of penalties that are being requested to refund. And since if this was all a clerical error, administration would have the authority to make those adjustments and apply a refund without council approval. But because this is the entire amount requested is not an administrative error or double payment or anything along those lines, we do not have the authority to adjust an account without council resolution.
Councillor Jarvis.
This fourth quarter utility bill, though, isn't in arrears. Only the third quarter.
The fourth quarter utility bill is part of the third quarter utility bill plus
So,
those.
because
arrears.
the
That's
interest was
total.
attached to the fourth quarter.
Correct, because we don't issue a new bill every month, our
Right,
systems
so it
don't
was
have
still
that.
the old bill plus new charges.
It's the old bill.
Previous charges, new charges, interest. On
Correct, on
outstanding.
the fourth bill, and that's when he received the bill, that's when the request has come into play.
But there theoretically in the fourth quarter, the only interest charges that he would have would still be applicable only on the third quarter.
Correct.
Correct.
The fourth
Right.
quarter bill is.
The fourth quarter is only in arrears as the principal payment of the fourth quarter.
There is no fourth quarter arrears at this point.
Right, so
Everyone
he-
has
yeah, so
till
he just
January
owes his
30th
basic
to pay that
service.
fourth quarter for.
Okay. I got it.
Any other questions about this?
Where is the sharp object?
Coffee, anybody want coffee?
Holy moly.
Are utilities and that not worked out with the lawyers and when you purchase a property?
So what happens is if a responsible property owner, through legal advice, obtains a tax certificate, at the time of obtaining the tax certificate, there would not have been any arrears. We would list if there are any arrears on the property. At the time of the purchase of the property, there were no arrears. The property possession date was in July. So the new property owner took possession of this property in July. The billing period was for July, regularly July 1st, like a final bill was issued to the previous property owner to create a new account heading for a new property owner. And so the prorated amount was identified, and so the property owner was billed under an account heading. Unfortunately, address for the account heading was not updated to the new property owner's address. And so with the software, so again, when we talked about training, Muniware is new to several admin staff within the office. There is going to be some training on some of the features within the software program. So the bill was issued for a period of July 7th to September 30th. It was mailed, though, to the previous property owner's address instead of the current property owner's address. And so November 2nd, the property owner had contacted administration on a different matter dealing with the utility and the water meters of the location. And as a result of that conversation, it was identified that they did not receive the third quarter bill. The entire bill was for their possession period. So then administration emailed the property owner the third quarter bill. But by then, at that point, the interest charge of November 1st has already been applied to that account because the date was October 30th or October 31st for
September
payment.
30th.
No,
And
Yeah,
the month of October.
The taxpayer says they got the bill in October.
No,
They
yeah,
didn't
November
get the
2nd,
bill in
November
October.
2nd. I agree with the part.
Oh, sorry, we never received it, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He's stating he never, so now upon further investigation through that, the admin staff does recall the property in question and did go through their emails and said, you know what, I did email the bill. And so that was after the request was made, so I was not able to have that conversation with this individual at the time. So that's where the email request has then come into that to refund the entire amount.
Okay.
Of $46.35.
And that represents the November and December,
And January,
November, December, and January.
January, because January 1st, the first of each month.
Okay.
Interest
October, November, December.
No,
No.
because you had up until October to pay the bill. The cutoff, the billing period cutoff was September 30th. Bill deadline date to pay, October 30th. November 1st, system
Interest.
automatically within the software, the system automatically generates an interest charge. And so the December,
So he got the bill in November and chose not to pay it in November.
or did not realize,
Or did not.
and so the complication is by me not being able to have that conversation about the email that was sent in November 2nd, I can't confidently say that the person did receive it. Did it go to junk mail? Did it, there's,
Okay.
that, right, so I
Okay.
was not able to have that, because I did not find out about the email. It took a while for admin to remember that process, right? We were able to determine when we received the land titles change, when tax account was changed, the utility account was not changed, right? So there was that piece, but because now of the email being sent, but I have not been able to converse with the property owner if there's been receipt of email, this does have to come to council.
Thank you.
So I'd like to recommend that we go with an authorized partial refund for the period of time that our mistake was made and at the point at which she became aware of the bill. Okay,
I concur.
all in favor?
So the amount of, we are offering a refund in the amount of $15.46.
46
cents.
And it cost us $147 to reach that decision.
We lost a few brain cells over it.
Okay,
$15.
Well, there must be an easier way when property is sold, you know what I mean? Like, I know it takes time and.
generally, when a property owner acquires property, it's very rare that a property owner would not visit the administrative office of wherever you purchase property to find out about all the information that occurs. Is there garbage?
Well, sometimes
When
there are
is
estate
garbage?
sales and all
Is
kinds
there-
of stuff though. Yeah.
Correct, but normally there is that, what do we do for this, and who do I contact for? So usually there is contact with a property owner and the administrative staff before we receive the information from land titles. And there was an oversight of not updating the utility side of this particular property, and that onus administration staff does have to take accountability for that. And if we had not provided a copy of the bill, we would have just issued a full refund without resolution of council because it was a clerical error.
Any further discussion before we go to vote? Thank you. All in favor? Carried. Okay, West Shore Community Foundation. They are having an info session on January 22nd about their funding process. Is any member of council interested in attending?
I think it says January 31st, doesn't it?
Yes, the RSVP.
For Winnipeg Beach, yeah, I'm interested
I
in
knew
that.
that.
Yes.
I knew that you knew that.
That's the information for grants. isn't it?
Yeah, it's just at the Legion, 7 PM on the 31st. Yeah, I'm interested.
Councillor Jarvis,
I'm in town,
Councillor Kozlowski. I'm just checking my schedule. Anybody else?
Just a question. Is this strictly for council or is staff attending?
I have not had a conversation with staff. I did just receive this today. This is more for, I meet staff on a regular basis. So the RSVP is January 22nd, which is before our next council meeting. So if I'm RSVPing, is council RSVPing on their own? Am I looking after the RSVP?
Could you RSVP on our behalf?
Yes, I can.
And Councillor Jarvis, myself, Councillor Kozlowski, three of us will be attending. Anybody else want to attend?
Possible.
Possibly Councillor Brewer. Do you need a resolution for that?
There is no resolution required for this.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I just needed the RSVP.
Okay,
Be it resolved that council accept the committee reports as presented.
can I have a mover, please? Councillor Jarvis. Have a seconder, please. Anybody? Councillor Kozlowski. I trust folks have had an opportunity to read the committee reports. The recreation has been very busy over November, December. The ice is really being used well. The rec center is being used very well. With the bylaw officer's report there as well as the emergency coordinator. Any questions or comments? No? All in favor? Carried. Roundtable discussion. Has anybody here been attending anything since last meeting that you'd like to report on?
Nothing over the Christmas.
Many meetings have been canceled because people going away for the
I
winter
did
holidays.
hear.
Because of people going away for the winter holidays, so some of my committees have been canceled for that
Okay.
reason. But I did find today on the Facebook, the Gimli seniors, they're looking for people to deliver Meals on Wheels for
Okay.
people here in Winnipeg Beach.
Mhm.
So if anybody out there is interested in there is a phone number, and I can leave that with our office here. If
Okay.
you want to deliver meals for the people.
Okay.
And that's the Otter area also, as well as Winnipeg Beach.
Councillor Jenner.
Councillor Kozlowski, do you know where the meals are picked up?
Right across the street.
Oh, so it's all right
Yeah.
here, they don't need to
Here
go?
and the Otter.
No, but if they're volunteering in this area, they don't need to.
Yeah, they're not
They
going.
to get
Yeah,
meals,
they're not
okay,
going
it's just
in with
coordinated
them.
through there, okay, thank you.
Anything else? I'd like to just sort of update folks about some of the things that council's been working on. So council's been working on, first of all, we have our garbage tender is going out soon, as we're all aware of. And we're looking at changing that, well, we're not looking at it, we have changed the requirements for the tender so that garbage will be picked up on Tuesdays. Once the new tender starts, as opposed to Mondays, and it'll only be picked up once a week as opposed to twice a week. And that was a decision of council back in the fall. Just want to let people know with 2024 being a new year, we have been very busy as a council working on a variety of issues and thought that I would use the roundtable to update people who might be here or listening from the comfort of their home on a snowy, cold night. On some of the things council's been working on. So in response to some comments from people who live here, as well as discussion around the council table, it was decided that we only need garbage pickup once a week. I'm trying to be more economically accountable. And we also thought that having pickup on Tuesdays as opposed to Mondays might make sense, especially given the amount of long weekends we have over the summer. And people aren't getting their garbage out on the Sunday evening for pickup Monday morning, and then the garbage is sitting there for long periods of time. So we've changed the garbage pickup day to Tuesday, and that'll be once a week. We are spending a lot of time as council looking at the parking issues in downtown Winnipeg Beach because of the congestion and difficulties that often happen, especially during the high tourist seasons, making it really hard for a lot of residents who live here to access the downtown businesses. Nothing's written in stone yet. We're still very preliminary stages of looking at some potential changes in terms of the parking, and we will be keeping people apprised of our decisions as we move along. We'll also be consulting with business owners and residents in terms of changes we might be making around that. We are full on in the budget process right now, and we've had a number of very long meetings trying to crunch numbers, and this council is really hoping that we do not have any kind of tax increase this year. We're working hard with that goal in mind, and as soon as we have figured out a preliminary draft budget, we will be having a financial plan meeting for all the residents to attend so that you can see what our thoughts are, what we're looking at in terms of the tax process. I want to give a shout out to our public works staff who understandably has been very busy in the last 24 hours.
Are we supposed to get up and dance?
Exercise time, folks. That was a good move there, Councillor Jarvis.
It just gets better.
It gets better every day, doesn't it? What was I talking about?
Playing in the
Works.
sandbox.
Oh, Public Works, they've been
Shout out
working
to
hard,
Public
like,
Works.
dealing with all the snow, and it looks like they're gonna be very busy again tomorrow morning and throughout the day tomorrow. They're doing a fabulous job, and I'm really impressed, and I've certainly been hearing lots of positive comments from people in our community today, and that's great. We were also talking about, and council spent some time with Public Works, talking about getting some outdoor skating happening for our residents. We were, first of all, looking at doing skating trails and skating rinks out on the lake, which we thought would be a fabulous use of the lake this year. However, given the condition of the lake and the unsafety of the lake even till today, and I hope that people are being very safe out there. I just read something on Facebook that a guy had his ATV out there and started going under today. That lake is not safe. We shouldn't be putting any kind of equipment on there yet. Because of that, we're wanting to have some fun and activities for our youth and our families and our seniors if we want to. Where Public Works is going to be building a skating rink along Stitt Avenue, not on the avenue, actually on the side of the road. We became aware of the fact that we actually own some property into the park area there. So we're going to be, Public Works is going to be working hard to put a skating rink down there for people to be enjoying. And the last thing is, I think, and this isn't all of the things we've been working on, but this is some of them, that we did take over ownership. We got the bank building back as of January the 1st. So council's been looking at that and talking about options and wanting to make decisions about how best to use that building in the best interest of our community. We have no decisions on that yet. We are very preliminary discussions. We just had to look at it for the first time yesterday. So just wanted to keep people apprised of that. Is there anything else that anybody on council would like to add into in terms of all of the work that ourselves and the administrative staff are doing that you think might be important to let our community know about? No? So going forward for a roundtable discussion, if there's anything that any council would like to add in terms of keeping our taxpayers informed of all of the things that we're working on, please make a note to come and speak to it at our next meeting. Yes? Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Correspondence.
13.1, be it hereby resolved that the correspondence be accepted as circulated.
Can I get a mover, please? Councillor Jarvis. Always jumps to the pump, eh? Seconder. Councillor Houle. I trust everybody's had an opportunity to read our correspondence. There's not a lot of it this month, but that's okay. Any questions, comments, or points of discussion? Yes, Councillor.
Nice to see that the insurance is going down April the 1st of 5%.
Right?
So that's very good news for the taxpayers.
Absolutely. Any other questions or comments about correspondence? All in favor? Carried.
Be it hereby resolved that council moves in camera at 7:03 to discuss matters that are in the preliminary stages and personnel matters, and be it further resolved that any matters discussed while in camera be held confidential until such time as discussed in open council.
Can I get a mover, please? Councillor Jarvis. Right. Councillor Kozlowski. You were pretty quick on the draw there. All in favor? Carried. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I hope you have a safe drive home.
I hope so too.
Yes.
You're up.
Be it hereby resolved that council moves out of camera at 8:09 PM and resumes the regular meeting of council.
Can I get a mover, please? Councillor Jarvis. Seconder, please. Councillor Cool. All in favor? Oh, you guys.
Be it hereby resolved that council adjourns the January 10th, 2024 regular meeting at 8:10.
Councillor Kozlowski. Councillor Cool. All in favor?